first thing is that you have to value a person as a human being. Each human being needs respect. So I think good leaders are people which take care of these things. They respect people, they value people, they add value to their team. They see what good qualities are there in each of my team members and how.
When we say yes to everything and do not set boundaries with people, we can feel stressed, overwhelmed, and burned out. Most of us want to be liked and to please other people. It can be difficult to turn down opportunities or requests that others have made of us. It may also be challenging to set limits with difficult people. Hello and welcome to the Honest Talk by Freak Folks. I'm Harsh Pandey. For this particular session, we have with us very special guest joining us all the way from Oman, Mr. Nalin Chandna sir. He is the Chief Executive Officer for National Gas Company SAOG, where he has worked for the decades handling various senior positions. He is also a certified leadership coach, trainer, and inspirational speaker, a qualified finance expert, TEDx speaker, and a seasoned professional with over 2 decades of significant experience in improving operation, impacting business growth, and maximizing profit. So, first of all, sir, I welcome you to in this session. Thank you so much for joining and agreeing to share your thoughts with us.
Thank you so much, Harsh, for having me here today on your show. I really look forward to speak to you today, and my greetings to all the viewers.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much. It's our pleasure to. So, moving to the topic of today's session, which we have chosen, is the power of no, the importance of setting boundaries and realistic goals. For many people, it's difficult to set boundaries or say no to others. This can be specifically challenging for those who self identify as people pleaser or workaholics. There are tons of
Right.
articles, books, and talks about the power of yes. Of course, there are many times when saying yes is a great. So my question to you is, or rather, it's a kind of request to you, is kindly explain our viewers the importance of learning how to set boundaries and how to say no, which is a real key to sustaining healthy relationship with yourself and others.
Right. I think the biggest point that we should understand is that we only have 24 hours in a day, right?
Yes.
And that is equally applicable whether it is you, whether it is me, whether it is the country's prime minister, whether it is the janitor cleaning our washroom, whoever. Everybody is blessed with 24 hours. Yeah. And that's the only thing which we say that there's no discrimination. Everybody has been blessed, and you don't borrow money from the future or you can leave money in the past. So every 24 hours you have to live, and you have to live in a way that you make the best out of it. So you have to focus on priorities. That is very important. I think we need to understand that the biggest gift that we have is time. So until we focus on our priorities, it will be very difficult to get the work done or get the goals that we have set for ourselves to be accomplished. And what I believe is that these 24 hours are kind of identical suitcases that
Yes.
we've been, each one of us is carrying, right? You
Yes.
also have a suitcase of 24 hours. I have a suitcase of 24 hours. Some people pack more in that suitcase,
Hmm.
some people pack less. Yeah.
Correct.
But the one who really packs more knows what to pack. So
Correct.
if you're traveling also, if you don't pack the right things, you'll end up buying stuff when you reach your destination.
Yes.
And you'll feel that you wasted money, you wasted the effort, and you carried this suitcase. But if you pack the right things that you need for your journey, then you are able to live your life more efficiently. So that is what I think, focus on priorities is important. And that's where the power of saying no comes into play. Because if you are pleasing everybody, then you have to realize at the back of the mind that you are sacrificing on something which is more important.
Correct. I think it's very hard to disagree
So
with you.
correct. So, and we cannot decide that until we have made a plan for our lives. If we
Hmm.
don't have a plan, then anybody and everybody is welcome to take our time, because we don't have anything sorted out. But if I know that today I have allocated 3 to 5 in the afternoon for doing this thing which is so important to me. And if something else comes your way and steals on that time, you can always say, no, I'm happy to help you, but maybe on a later date when I've got some better uh, time availability. So I think it is very important to set your plan. You have to have your goals. And when I talk about goals, it's not about my office goals that I have to finish the financials by month and I have to give it to my boss. Goals is a larger picture. I'm talking about a holistic life situation. And that works across your dimensions of your personal life, your professional life, your career, your financial goals, your spiritual goals if you're a person of faith, your marital goals. For example, I mean, you need to spend time with your family, your parental goals. Your
Correct.
parents have certain expectations, and similarly, your children have certain expectations from you. So all these dimensions. Then your physical health you cannot compromise. I mean, you may be a workaholic working 16 hours a day, but imagine if you're not well and 2 days you can't get out of the bed, then nothing works.
Correct.
All work suffers. So your physical health you cannot ignore, your mental health and enrichment, your professional development you cannot ignore, because we are all work in progress. Yeah, and we continue to remain work in progress until we die. We just have to aim to get better each day, better than tomorrow than what we are today. So I think that is what goal setting is all about. And if we have to set goals, we have to be ready to say no to certain things.
Mm.
Like we prepare a to-do list, we should also have certain items which are on the not to-do list.
Yes.
I'm not saying necessarily to prepare a list that I'll not do this, but you should be clear that these are the things I'm going to do and rest everything I'm not going to do. So not to do list is also an important aspect of your
Right.
planning exercise. Yeah.
Right, sir. I think you have very beautifully explained the example which you have taken about the we all are carrying a identical briefcase and we need to understand this. And you have explained very beautifully that why we all need to set boundaries and we what happens when we don't set boundaries. And so my next question to you is, how do you define the unhealthy boundaries and what are the things one must consider before setting his or her boundaries?
Yeah, I think we are not machines, so there has to be a healthy mix of work-life balance in our lives, and especially during the COVID scenario, what we've seen is that people are working from home, and the personal and professional boundaries have kind of disappeared. So your work from home kind of carries on until after 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, because you're just continuing and working. So, and the expectations of the offices are also that as soon as you send an email, you expect a response back. So I think we all should realize that work from home is for a privilege as well for some people, but I think work-life balance has to be there. It is absolutely essential. Yeah. So I mean, explore opportunities of spending time together with your family, with your loved ones, with your friends. You should have time for everything.
Mhm.
Work should not take over your other dimensions of life. So I think that's where the boundaries do come in. You have to take a hard cut off, even if you're working from home. Let's say 5 o'clock, you say that, okay, I'll shut off and I'll have a cup of tea with my wife. Yeah. Or we'll go out, do some shopping, or we'll go out for a movie together, or at home also, let's watch TV together. Yeah. So you have to set those boundaries. Maybe you have something urgent, you can come back to it later at night, but don't compromise on things which others are expecting, your family is expecting from
Right.
you. So you have to take hard cutoffs and build those boundaries, even if it is a work from home situation. Imagine as if you are in the office. Try to sit down for your work at the office time. Like for example, if you reach office at 8:30 or 9 in the morning, start work at 9 o'clock. Don't think that, oh, I'm at home, I'll start at 11. Because if you start at 11, it will go on until 7 8 o'clock, so the whole thing suffers. So try to align your work schedule to those situations as if you are practically going to the office.
Right.
Have those boundaries cut off. 9 o'clock you start, 5 o'clock you break. Yeah, and spend 2 hours with the family, do things what you are wanting to do, and then you are charged up. Maybe 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock after dinner, come back and sit down on your work again. Yeah.
Indeed, sir. Actually, you have taken the example of this COVID thing and how actually we our work-life balance has totally changed. We need to accept this.
True.
So my question to you is, as we have moved into this 21st year of this 21st century and passing through this very unprecedented time, the way we do business has changed. We now operate in a new environment that can be very aptly described as VUCA, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. The pace of
Correct.
change is getting faster, organizations are flatter, customer demands are ever increasing. Competition is global, and continuous disruption are now considered as new normal. So, my
Right.
question to you is, what is needed to survive and thrive in such a VUCA world?
I think ultimately we see that this unprecedented changes that have happened in the last 1.5 year,
Mm,
our priorities have also changed. Yeah,
yes,
things which we considered important earlier or most important earlier, without which we felt that we cannot survive. We have survived all those, and the expectations from life, the expectations from our jobs, everything has changed. Yeah. What we thought was important is no longer important, and
yes,
what we never felt important is now so important.
correct.
So I think do what you love, whatever gives you happiness. I've seen people who have chalked out that extra time and devoted to their passion. People have left their jobs, started on with their startups,
Right.
whatever they wanted to do, but they were not getting that courage. So I think this is an opportunity. Definitely, it has been a very big challenge. We have lost so many people. I myself lost my parents. But I think this has also given us an opportunity to rejig, to brainstorm. There's a lot of reflection time that these times have given us to really see where we are headed, what kind of legacy we want to write one day. Yeah, what are the things important to our life. So do what gives you happiness. After all, happiness is all what we need. And happiness is a very relative word. Happiness for you and happiness for me may be
Right.
completely different. And
Different.
one milestone achieved ceases to be a motivator. Maybe you think one thing is important for you, but once you achieve that, it ceases to be a motivator.
Yes.
Inching forward to the achievement of your goals is ultimately what we need to strive for. And again, I come back to goal setting. That is very, very important. Whether you are 20, whether you're 40, whether you're 60, if you don't have a life plan, you are missing on something. You must make your life plan. And life plan, as I said, covers all the dimensions of your life, whether it is your personal life, professional life, financial goals, marital goals,
Right.
parental obligations, spiritual needs, physical health needs, mental health needs. So each one of us should have a life plan, have goals under each of those dimensions, and then list down the activities that you need to do to achieve, set those timelines for those goals. Let's say if you want to have a debt free house by 2025, let's say, for example. So you've got like 4 years now. So
Mm,
you work backwards to achieve this goal. 4 years later, what do I need to do? 30% is what I can shell out, 70% I have to borrow from the bank. This is the EMI that I'm going to pay. So how much do I need to make money? So all that has to be done in a proper way. But if I've got vague goals, like for example, one day I want to own a house, that one day never comes, right? So
no.
everything has to be time bound. We have to have smart goals, not only for office. We've always been doing it for our jobs, but let's have smart goals for our life as well. Consider yourself as the CEO of your organization.
Yes.
You are an organization, like you have mission, vision, values for your organization that you work for. You should have those vision, mission, and values for yourself. You as a person is an organization. Think of you as an organization, and you are the CEO of your organization.
Right.
You have to steer it to achieve that vision. You have to steer it to achieve those targets that you have. So I think that is what it is. You do what makes you happy. That is what is important.
Indeed, sir. I think you have actually stressed on the part which need to be discussed and which is very, there's a need of the hour to discuss all these points. So my next question to you is, as you have been in the leadership position from the past few decades, my question to you is, how do you define leadership failure and how do you handle disagreement with coworkers, which is very obvious when you work with multiple people from different background and diverse peoples.
I think leadership over the years, the meanings have really evolved.
Hmm.
And leadership today is all about participative leadership. You have to take your people along with you. Gone are the days when you said that my way or highway,
Yes.
because those kind of leadership positions are short lived. People will only listen to you, people only will work for you till the time they find a better opportunity. But if you really want people to respect you, you have to respect them as well. Respect is a two-way street. You have to give respect to earn respect.
Yes.
You have to value people. That is very important for any good leader. See, we are all human beings, and we all, whatever position we are at, we all expect the other person to respect us.
Correct.
Who walks into a room just to get humiliated? Everybody needs respect, right? And it is irrespective of your position. We
Hmm.
may say that, oh, we respect our bosses, but when I talk to the office boy, if I'm talking in a different tone, that I'm not a good leader.
Right.
The first thing is that you have to value a person as a human being. Each human being needs respect. So I think good leaders are people which take care of these things. They respect people, they value people, they add value to their team. They see what good qualities are there in each of my team members and how they complement each other, how
Mhm.
each one of them adds to the team's success. So that is always important.
Indeed, sir. So, as you have mentioned, let's be more specific. The business world has changed dramatically over the last few decades, and as you have very rightly mentioned, now we live in a society which is more connected, where change can be fast-paced, constant, and unpredictable. Rapid advance in technology have created an environment where the internet, smartphones, and social media are ambiguous, and the 2008 global crisis, global financial crisis, and 2020 pandemic has increased the sense of turbulence, danger, and unpredictability in the certain areas. So, in your opinion, what critical skills required to excel in this fast-changing world?
I think the biggest thing that we need to accept is that change is the only constant. Yeah.
Yes,
And if we are inflexible to change, I think we'll face difficulties.
correct.
Who had imagined that half of the world would be sitting at home? We could never imagine. If
No,
somebody would have spoken about this in 2018, 2019, people would have laughed at somebody who would have said that in 2020 the whole world would be sitting at home. But that has happened,
yes,
and it has happened so much that work has also happened, whatever it is. Yeah, we whoever was not buying online groceries also have started doing that.
yes,
Old people who never used WhatsApp or Zoom, they started using that. So we have welcomed change, and whoever has welcomed change has survived.
correct.
Whoever has not welcomed change are still struggling. Right. So I think the biggest lesson that we have got is that you should always be open to change. We should never think that I know this, I know this. We are all work in progress, as I said.
Yes, indeed.
Welcome new things.
Yes,
Yeah. Younger generation today is doing things which we never did. Yeah. For
yes,
example, my son who is 20 years old now. So they are doing things which we could never imagine. So we should always be open to new ideas. We should always be open to new ways of doing things, because it doesn't mean that if something has succeeded in the past, it will continue to succeed, because this pandemic has shown us that. So
hmm,
we should always be open to change, adaptable to change. I think that's the single biggest quality we need in people today, in leaders today, in businesses today. Even businesses, you see, whichever businesses came out with newer ideas of servicing their customers are continuing to survive.
correct.
Sensex, for example, you see companies have kind of been bouncing back, but at the same time, a lot of SMEs have had difficulties. Yeah, I mean, there are practical challenges as well. So they faced resource crunches, cash flow constraints. But again, the organizations who are more adaptable to change have a greater chance of success. And that applies to human beings as well.
Indeed, sir, very rightly you have mentioned change is the only constant. So my next question to you is, or I can say there's a lot more to learn from you, but today I don't want to take too much of your time. So moving to my last question of this session, So, what are the some tips or advices would you like to suggest to young millennials?
I think the way I covered that, one is definitely you should have good work-life balance. That is very important. Do what you want to do. Be an early riser. Rising early in the morning gives you a lot of extra time to do things.
Yes.
Focus on the critical tasks in hand. So when you must plan every day that these are the critical tasks that I must do today if my day has to be a successful day. Yeah. I call them frogs. If you've read the book by Brian Tracy, Eat That Frog. So frogs are your most critical task for the day. The way I do is I plan for the next day the evening before, that
Okay.
these are the three tasks I have to do tomorrow morning. And
Uh,
until you do that, you don't get into any meeting, you don't open your email even. So focus on the frog so that you have the biggest task done by early morning itself. Then you've got the day and you've got so much satisfaction that you have achieved so much in the
right.
day. So far as possible, attend only those meetings where you are really needed. Yeah. So far as possible, determine not to be on each and every email, not to have people marking you CC on each and every email. If you're required, you get into the discussion. If you're not, no need to disturb you. Yeah. So these are few things. Definitely, you need reflection time. You need to reflect daily in the evening on how your day went and then plan for the next day. Similarly, and this is just 10 minutes every day can help you do that. And on the weekend, spend about half an hour, reflect on the week gone by, and plan for the week ahead. I think these things will really give a lot of control to you on your life. And that is what you need so that you can say no when you're not able to commit to anything and say yes to things only which are really adding value to your life, to your goals, to your passion, and really to your organization as well. But you have to do it in the right way.
Indeed, sir, it was really very wonderful advice. I think the viewers, those who are watching this session, they are surely going to find us insightful. Not only I think, but I do strongly believe this, sir. Thank you so much for joining and giving your important time. It was a kind of healthy conversation with you over the topic.
Thank you, Harsh. Thank you, Harsh, for having me here. And I really wish all the best to all your viewers. And
Thank you, sir. It really means a lot
may
for us.
you all have a wonderful, bright future. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
On the ground is where I stand. Never give up, that was always the plan. It's so cold outside.